Backpfeifengesicht, ja.
What?
Some good German words. Yep.
When I opened the hatch, the air rushed in from this side.
Because there was none inside the chamber.
But the alphas were in there.
Hence so well preserved. They were in a vacuum. So basically content warning for all of this because it is hard to watch.
I'm locked out of core control. Alpha clearance overridden. What the hell is Omega clearance? Oh no.
Alpha personnel. Sorry to alarm you, but I need you to listen, okay? To what I'm about to say. This isn't easy. See, please, stop trying to access the system, okay? See, what this is about is...
You can't even say it.
I said stop trying to access the goddamn system. What I'm trying to say is...
Get to it, Ted.
I can't stop thinking about the ones who come after us. Those innocents. Those blameless men and women.
He needs a second to remember that women exist.
We're gonna give them knowledge? Like it's a gift?
Ted. We've talked about this before. Apollo has 3,000 plus fail-safe conditions.
It's not a gift, it's a disease. They're the cure, and we're gonna give them the disease. Our disease? No, we can't. And it's not too late. If we're willing to sacrifice.
Ted, it doesn't need to be like this.
It already is, Samina. I did it 3 minutes ago. I've purged Apollo. It's gone, all of it, every copy.
A sacrifice? It's not a sacrifice, it's cultural obliteration, you crazy bastard! Millennia of culture!
I'm sorry. Really, I am. But sometimes, to protect innocence, innocents have to die.
Emergency alert. Captain atmosphere.
He killed them where they sat. And like this took what? 2 minutes? Yeah. And like this was Patrick and Margot who went to comfort Samina because Apollo was hers. No, silence would not be a Faro Stan. Like, he would... I mean, he's most angry with him now for, you know, having purged Apollo, but he would see that man for who he is. Exactly, he didn't have the fucking balls to do it in person. It was a video call or a holo call that took 2 minutes. And at the end, he remotely killed them all. And, like... the thing is... And here's my 15-minute rant on Ted Faro that I've had locked and loaded from the beginning. Because there's a ton more stuff that you find out about him in Horizon Forbidden West, but I'm gonna spoil all of it right now because this guy does not deserve any more grand entrances nor any more surprises. Because the reason that he did this, and I it's very fitting that like just a couple like yesterday, someone joined the Discord server to ask me some questions about this. Basically, what he wanted was to create noble savages, literally noble savages, for him to educate. Because in the second game, you find out that he locked himself into a bunker called Thebes with a giant gold statue of himself at the entrance. He went there with like, I don't know, a dozen models, his personal physician, and that physician's teenage daughter, like his psychiatrist, who he called like his guru, basically, and a bunch of like old Farzenith tech. And let's remember that the Farzeniths, it turns out, figured out how to make themselves immortal, right? So Ted Faro, in his infinite wisdom, decided to try and reverse engineer Farzenith tech to make himself immortal, and tasked his physician with administering treatments that would render him so. The trouble is that, you know, his physician was just like his doctor, had no training and all that shit. And, well, Ted Faro is an incompetent, and I may have to bleep that when I put it on YouTube, but there we go. And so the treatments caused mutations. So slowly over the years he was mutating, he was becoming more paranoid. People in Thebes started there's a couple of diaries of the physician's daughter who speculated that maybe Ted Faro was killing people off. Others killed themselves. The physician and his daughter eventually decided together to commit suicide to get away because they had nowhere else to go. And Ted Faro just kept mutating. And, like, right now, Ted Faro is still alive, but he is an amorphous, like, if you've ever played Carrion, which is a great game, by the way, he is an amorphous blob of biomass right now. Basically, yeah, brain in a jar. He is basically an amorphous blob of biomass right now, somewhere in a jar, in fucking San Francisco. Alright? That's where he is, right at this moment. He is, for any given definition of the term, still alive. And the reason that he wanted to become immortal is to still be alive when Elizabeth's children, and like throughout the logs and diaries that you find in the second game, he keeps referring to them as Elizabeth's children. He wants to be the one to lead Elizabeth's children, which by erasing Apollo he has rendered into noble savages. He wants to be the one to lead them, to teach them, to guide them into the light. He wants to become their messiah, guru, whatever. And the reason that he does this is that he cannot abide that Elizabeth's legacy is going to be literal life. Like, the future of humanity, of this planet, is her legacy. That is what she created out of thin air. That's what she made. And his legacy, by having it hushed up, what caused the Pharaoh plague, by him just footing the bill for all of this and having no say, being kept away from the project, etc., 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 his legacy is nothing. It's nothing. And this, like, pseudo-intellectual, misogynist prick cannot handle that. And that is why he purged Apollo. And, like, by building that back door from the very beginning, that was always the goal. He always left himself that back door in order to, at will, undermine Elizabeth's legacy in whatever way he saw fit. And there's a comment in the second game from his guru / psychiatrist, whatever, that in erasing Apollo, he also erased his own past, because of course he rationalizes it to himself, etc., that, you know, all of that happened is not actually really his fault. Because, you know, he keeps saying, like, just tell me what I did wrong and I'll do it. It's like a man-child in a bad marriage. So, like, but of course there's a lot of repressed guilt in there. And by erasing Apollo, he erases that past, that history as well. He gives himself a completely clean slate to reinvent himself, to elevate himself into godhood, essentially, and to become, like, the leadership figure, the revered figure that he always wanted to be. And, like, in an incredible twist of fate, you find Thebes together with a delegation of the Quen. The Quen are a tribe introduced in the second game. Alva, she's a diviner, she's amazing. But basically they have access to focus technology, but the focuses they found are a previous, like, a Prev Gen hardware version, so they don't have access to the latest focus software, which entailed a shift in file format, which is why they can only read documents up to a certain point and nothing after. So the basis of knowledge that they have is that to them, Ted Faro is like a savior. He's one of their revered ancients, along with a lot of Silicon Valley people. They also revere Elizabeth Sobeck to an extent, but, like, Faro is, like, it. And you find Thebes together with them. And it's just, it's so fucking surreal. It's so fucking surreal. Yeah, the Quen are a whole can of worms of their own making, but, like, yeah. So, but yeah, like, the idea for Ted Faro to build that back door, which he had in there from the very beginning of the project, was always to be like, if at any point, like, I want something changed or erased, I can do that. Because he still thought that it should be up to him. But not even necessarily that, but, like, he wanted the feeling of knowing that at any point he still held Elizabeth's legacy in his hand. That is what he wanted, because he couldn't abide that a woman did this, that a woman saved the planet. And now I'm going to check my notes, because I had actual notes on this, and I want to make sure that I said everything I wanted to, because otherwise this is going to turn into 3 weeks of me going, and another thing. So, you know, just gonna make sure. Oh yeah, that neoliberal, like, fash rhetoric of humanity is the virus, like, we're the disease, like, whatever drove you is the fucking disease, Faro. Like, ugh. So, like, yeah, you know, like, and another thing, like, basically, those humans would have, like, emerged from the cradles, and he would have been like, literally, he would have retconned all of this. He would have been like, I made all this for you. Like, the plan was to just usurp Elizabeth's everything. Like, like, it's not just undermining it, but taking credit for it as well. Oh yeah, in my notes, like, I call what's left of him roadkill, which is basically, yeah, nope, got everything. Damn, well done, me. I thought I was gonna have to look up more, because I'm pretty tired. But hey, this bitch woke me up. What's really fun about watching this rant on mobile is that I get to feel the frustrated sounds. Beautiful haptics. Yeah, he wanted to be the God Emperor, but at the end his vision is what got even the slight possibility of remembrance erased. Yes, and like because in the end, like, what I do like is that it doesn't show you. You see a diagram, like you see a scan. Yes, and oh god, sorry, I'll be done soon. But like, you see a scan of him, like that amorphous blob of roadkill, but you don't actually see it. You just, like, the door to the room that he's in opens, and I don't know if you can even. I didn't really try to go in. I just chucked a couple of firebombs in there, because I was like, yeah, whatever. And like, it growls. Like, the door just opens and you hear like, it's like, oh, are you okay in there, buddy? So I just chucked in a couple of firebombs. And incidentally, this makes another trumped up man-child that you have with you very angry. Like the Quen guy who, like, styled himself after Faro. It's like, oh boy, you're gonna meet him, you're gonna love him so much. And he is so mad. But then he drowns in lava? So... like, he erased all of our history? And any chance that the new humans had at a better life. Just erase that, and like any shred of decency, dignity, and whatever else himself, that piece of shit that he was, had left, which wasn't much, but like he managed to nuke even that from orbit, which, kudos, dude. Like, well done. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you all of that because, like, I played the two games back to back, and I got to this, and then I got to that bit in Forbidden West, and I was like, this prick shouldn't have gotten to, like, clothesline me that hard twice. So here I am, not letting him clothesline you twice. That is my service to the internet.